Good morning. Good morning to each of you. I am Dr. Corrine Johnson, and I would like to welcome each of you on this morning to plug into the power of prayer. We thank you all so much for tuning in with us on this morning. And our subject for this morning is going to be don't compare yourself to others. And our key scripture is going to be coming from Galatians chapter 6, verse 4. And I'm going to be reading it from the TLB version of the Bible. And it says, let everyone be sure that he is doing his very best. For then he will have the personal satisfaction of work well done, and won't need to compare himself with somebody else. And so on this morning, we have to understand that it is impossible for us to be happy and envious at the same time. In fact, one way to experience true satisfaction in your life is by learning how to eliminate envy out of your life. Acknowledging your struggle with envy, we know that it can be very painful, but it is the first step towards a change of values and a more mature spiritual life. When we think about envy compares what you don't have with someone who has it. It could be a job, it could be a car, a house, kids, a spouse, it could be numerous things. But anytime we choose envy, you lose because you miss out on the satisfaction that God has planned for you. And so you challenge envy in your life by changing your perspective. When we think about satisfaction doesn't come from gaining what other people have. It comes from doing the work God has specifically prepared for you. And if you can learn to accept this, you're going to escape the comparison trap. And so significance comes from doing your best. You have more important things to do than to sit around and compare yourself with what other people have, because you cannot focus on your purpose while being preoccupied with what other people have, what other people are doing, and you cannot be content with what you have while you're busy envying what everybody else has. So, do you want a more satisfying life? Be assured that it doesn't come from comparison. Instead, it comes by becoming the person that God made you to be. So don't pursue what other people have. For comparison is always going to leave you feeling empty, and it's going to leave you feeling frustrated. You must know that God has a plan for your life, and it's custom tailored just for you. So do your best work, and you're going to find that satisfaction that you need in God. But when you start comparing yourself to other people, it's gonna quickly become a thing of the past. You're not gonna be able to receive what God has for you because you're so busy comparing yourself and envying what other people have. And so know that God has a blessing, and it's tailor made just for you. It has your name on it. You know, God has a tailor made blessing for you, and you got to believe that. And when you do believe that, you'll find yourself in a position to where you're doing your very best to do what it is that God has called you to do. So you don't find yourself in a position to where you are comparing yourself to what other people have and walking in the spirit of envy. So on this morning, acknowledge your struggle with envy. Acknowledge it. And when you begin to acknowledge it, then you can begin to just sit and just think about all of the wonderful things that God has done for you and is doing in your life right now. And so there's no need to compare yourself, because at the appointed time, everything that God has for you, He's going to release it in His due time. And so on this morning, Thank you all so much for tuning in and joining with me once again for Grace for Today 5-minute devotions. And it is my prayer that you will go forth on today and have a blessed day.